Okay, it's on. Hi there, this is Jennifer, also known as Jedidragoon Makes. And I'm known as Jedidragoon on Instagram and Ravelry. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer. If you're a new viewer, hello. Yeah, it's been a few weeks it's been about 3 weeks since I last podcast, and I did a podcast before Christmas because I wanted to show the socks I made my mom for Christmas, and then life happened. I had Christmas, I had New Year's, I had returned to working out at the Y, we got sick. It's been kids going back to school. It's been a madhouse. So I haven't podcasted in 3 weeks. I'm sorry about that, but life happens. So I'm going ahead and get into knitting, and then I can talk about other life stuff, because most people are here for the knitting stuff, and if you hang around till the end of the podcast, then you can hear about some of the life stuff. And, well, I have finished. Okay, so I haven't podcasted in 3 weeks. I've finished exactly 2 items. I've done good. Not. The one I finished in a week. And if you'll remember in my last podcast, I mentioned I was going to try and make a sock tube out using my knitting loom that I have. That didn't happen. I got frustrated and all that. So I just went back and decided I was just going to make a sock. So this is the sock I made. As you can see, it's striped up real nicely and all that. This is entirely made on a sock knitting loom. It took me a week. It's all I felt like working on for a week. I got a little bit longer cuff than I usually do, which is kind of nice. I did find out that I made this a little on the small size because knitting looms patterns usually want some negative, don't allow for negative E, so I went ahead and figured that in. I made it apparently a little too small, so I have to go up a little bit, but it's good to know. As to the sock yarn, I used Cartopu sock yarn that I got from Hobium Yarns. If you remember my Hobium yarn haul video. It starts off at this orange and then a little stripe of gray, orange, gray, and then into this. It looks all speckled, but it has like, first it starts off with orange speckles, then green speckles, and this blue, and then this green, and then it goes into this orange, blue, green mix. And then back down, blue, orange. Yeah, so it's not as soft as like merino wool, but it'll probably be pretty heavy duty and wearable. I have not started on the second sock, mainly because I was so sick of this yarn. It's not the yarn, it's just me. I just got really bored when I was doing these speckly bits. So I put it aside and pulled out some other yarn I wanted to work with. And also I got kind of frustrated because it is a little bit tight on my foot, which I have another pair like that. So I got sock blockers now, so hopefully I can stretch it out when I block it and make it a little bit bigger and feel a little bit better. So that is the Cartopu sock yarn. And the heel, when you use the knitting loom, is short row heels. Short row heel. That's what it's called. Yeah, I'm not a professional. Anyway, so it's short row heel, and the toe is pretty much short row toe. And they say seam it. I did like a Kitchener stitch, which seems to work out pretty well for me, which I really butchered this one, but it happens. It's been a while since I did one. As I practice and get back into it, it'll do better. But other than that, the sock's great. I need to make it a little longer. It said stop at 2 inches. I stopped at 1.5 inches because I know that's usually about where I need to stop. On this, I need to stop at 1 inch before the end of my foot. But other than that, it turned out pretty good. And because of all that, I may not do the stitches. Who knows? But yeah, this is what a sock loom sock looks like. I'll just hold that there. Maybe this will be the picture. I'm such a dork. Anyway, and then the other thing I also finished in about a week. Yeah. And it was the hipster hats by Tin Can Knits. Which, as you'll notice, it does not look like the hipster hat if I'd done it right. This hat actually belongs to my mom. She was supposed to take it with her at Christmas. She didn't, so I've been wearing it. But actually, the hipster hat is supposed to look like this with the pearl side out. I didn't want to do that, so I just made it and weaved in my ends so it was like this. So, the yarn is the yarn I got from Hobie Yarns. It's the Happy Feet XL. And it just kind of pulled itself like this. I had nothing to do with this. There's no planned pulling. It was unplanned. But it kind of did these zigzag stripes all around the hat. Kind of turned out pretty nice. Just a little too small, and I played yarn chicken. I had about this much yarn left. Well, it was a ball squeezed up like that. But, yeah, it turned out good. I really like the Tin Can Knits patterns. They're easy, simple. But yeah, those are my two finished objects. I cast that hat on for car knitting when I went with my mom to a local Amish place and grocery store down here. And those are the two FOs I have. I'm marking them off my list. But yeah, the loom knit sock, I also should mention, I use my KB Loom adjustable loom. I use 52 pegs for it. My next sock I'm going to be using, and I'll show you in a minute, I'll tell you how many pegs I'm using for it. And my hipster hat, I use size 4 and 6 inch needles for it. I used 6 inch circulars for the main body, and the ribbing I used size 4 magic loop. Mainly because that's what I had. It worked. And now I will move on to my whips. Which the first one I'm pretty proud of. I got some more work done on my flax sweater, which I have. I should have put this in my acquisitions, but I forgot until I pulled it out here. But I got a new bag. This is by Fate's Threads, and it's a sweater size bag she has. I think it's like her largest size she carries of bags, but it's really nice, heavy duty. The inside's gray. I kind of requested this fabric, so it was custom. But I love the patchwork dragons. And if you've watched any of my other ones, you know I have a sock one floating around in the same pattern. I just really wanted a larger size one to keep my sweater in. But anyway, the sweater's being knit out of this. Yes, I have a skein of it still. The Red Heart Super Saver ombre, and the color is, there's a tag on the back that says what color it is, Spearmint. So it's this real pretty, it goes from dark to light to really pale and then back to dark again. So I've been working on this for a while now. It's not the pattern, I just get really bored. And all I have to do, and last time I showed it to you, I did not have the ribbing on the bottom done. I decided I'd get that done over Christmas. And so now, yeah, this is real good video here. Sorry, it's all tangled up. And the ribbing keeps flipping up on me. I have not washed it or anything yet, but okay. I have the ribbing done. So this whole body is done. It's a little short. It's a little shorter than I like, but I know next time to make it a little longer. I want to knit it as it said, see where it fell. I can still wear it, it's fine. And if I lose some weight, it'll work even better. And I have started on the sleeve, which the sleeves turned out to be something of an interesting dilemma. Because apparently when I went and put the stitches on hold, I put it on for like one of the smallest sizes. Smaller sizes. I put 43 stitches on. I was supposed to have 67 on hold, so my arms fit and stuff into the sleeves. What I did to fix it was went through and did a bunch of increases. And I did them all underneath here, under the bottom. As you can see, I did them under there because I figured it'd hide it more, and it's just one of those things. I have no idea what I was thinking when I did it. And at this point, I'm not ripping it back and restarting it to redo that. So that's my flex sweater I'm working on. But yeah, it's coming along real nice. I just need to finish the sleeves, which is a lot easier said than done. I just get bored and move on to other stuff, and I haven't had the willpower, brain power to work on this. I seriously have not. I like it. I want to get it done before winter is over. But yeah, it'll get done when it gets done. Even if I have to wear it next winter, it'll be fine. If it's a little big, I don't care. And the other thing I cast on, which you guys have not seen this, it's another thing I cast on in the 3 weeks. So I started something new, and I love working on this. I'm enjoying it immensely. I cast on the Malibu Shawl by Jody Brown, and I'm in love with this pattern. If I can figure out how to show you this. I went with Lolo Did It. This is all DK weight yarn. It's her simple DK. And it starts out with this Professor Plum colorway. And there's these drop stitches, as you can see. Very simple and easy. And then you stripe in your next color. And now I'm working on the main color, in the speckle color, which is this Wisgamont color. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, still more drop stitches. It's worked on size US 10 needles. These are my Zings. And it's working up real fast, and I'm loving it. And the next color that I'm going to be working into it is this so it's going to be more like a fade, but is this Betty Davis? Oh, yeah, my camera's doing weird stuff. Is this Betty Davis eyes color? So this is going to be real pretty. I'm going to enjoy wearing this, but yeah, this I cast on. I had to cast on something new, but it's working out pretty good. It's coming along good. It's easy. I'd almost say it's a beginner pattern, except for the drop stitches, dropped yarn overs, and this is residing in my B-splat bag. But yeah, that's the second thing I started working on. This is not how I have it marked off on my list down below here, but it's in order of what I pull out of the basket, how I piled it in there. Weird, I know, but hey. And another thing I cast on and I started working on is, because the flax was giving me fits, and, well, it wasn't giving me fits, I just became so bored with it. And so the next thing I cast on was the Oxbow Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. And this is how far I've gotten. Which I like this because it's using like size 11 needles. And I'm using the Kartopu Melange tweed yarn from Hobium Yarns in this camo green color. So yeah, the way this pattern works is you start on the sleeves, which I thought was great because that's the part that's slowing me down on the other one. It's this really neat stitch pattern also, and so far I'm really enjoying it. The increases are giving me a little bit of a pause, and I can't really take it to work and just do mindless knitting, so it's pretty much at night whenever I feel like working on it. I do a little bit at a time. I'll eventually get it done, I hope. So yeah, those are the Do not start a podcast if you aren't organized. And so the other thing I'm working on is, if I can get out here, is a sock. Yes, this is not the same yarn. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in her Orcas colorway. It's what I'm calling my whale socks. And it goes from this gray to this lavender to this dusty rose color to this white, and then it goes to a stripe of black. This is more my colors than the orange was. I love this. I really want these socks done. And if you're wondering why the yarn's crinkly, I ripped these out to do them on the knitting loom because these have been on the needle since January or February of last year. So they needed to get done, and I figured since it only took me a week to do a sock on this, I'd do this. The ribbing takes longer than the actual knitting. So once I get past the ribbing, it'll go really fast. And a side note on knitting. I'm doing this with 56 pegs instead of the 52 like I did on my other sock. And if you're wondering about these little black marks I drew on here, I have a hard time with remembering on the knitting loom where the knit and purls are when I first get started. So I marked every 2 pegs where I would knit or purl. That way I would remember. So that's a good tip if you have one of these. If you don't want it so permanent, I'm told you can use like the little elastic hair bands that you get in the hairbrush aisle and put those around 2 pegs each and do it that way. But marking it with a marker just worked for me. Usually I did it on top of the pegs, but it wears off really quickly. So I put it on here. So yeah, that's my knitting loom. And another side note is a lot of beginners on knitting looms use the E-wrap stitch, which is where you wrap it completely around the peg and go all the way around. With socks, I have found, and I haven't tried it with hats yet, mainly because I just found my hat loom and I haven't started a hat yet on it. Mainly because I can knit a hat pretty fast with regular needles. But you want to use the U-wrap, which the U-wrap, can I do this so you can see? Oh, good. What you do with the U-wrap is you take the yarn and you pretty much just wrap it around like that. And I have it held with my finger on this side. As you can see, it's not wrapped completely around. And yeah, I can't see this from. And then you just lift it up over. And that's how you do a U-wrap. It makes a tighter stitch. And if you do the flat stitch, it's too tight. The U-wrap, for some reason, makes it a little bit looser and more like regular knitting. I did the U-wrap entirely on this sock, and it turned out really good. And I got gauge because this loom right here is 7 stitches per inch, which is what I originally started making my socks. When I first started knitting socks again, I started doing 7 stitches per inch. So this is like my more normal gauge. And if you hear a door banging in there, that's a cat stuck in the basement. It'll be fine. I'll let him out after the video. But yeah, it does a tighter stitch than the E-wrap. So, because the E-wrap makes it too loose, this makes it just right. Unless you have too few stitches, like I did on the last sock. But that is my knitting loom sock I'm working on. And this is my hook I use. It's one of their specialty ones. It's for grip and that, which I find a little weird because I hold it more like this. It's the only thing I hold like this. Crochet, I hold it like this. Knitting, I just hold weird, apparently. This, I hold like this. I go, yeah, I don't know why. Just me. It's just like, I don't know. I held it more like a pencil than I do my crochet hook. So, and that's all the stuff I have. That's all my whips I'm working on. And now let's get into what I have acquired since my last video. I've gotten 2 things of yarn. Surprise, surprise. I ordered some yarn from Lolo did it because she has Monsters of the Month Club. She's been having going on for a little bit. And for December, she had Abominable Snowman. It comes with this really pretty salmon red color with black speckles and this really pale blue and white. It's going to make really cute socks. So, those are the Abominable Snowman socks. And November's was Mummy. So, we have this little white with this flecks of red and black, and then this gold with flecks of black. It's going to be a really pretty sock too. So, hopefully I get to work on those. Which, if I get the knitting loom going real good, I should be able to crank out some socks pretty fast. Which I really need to do if you could see my big tote of sock yarn. Hold on a minute. Sorry, something was in my eye. Hold on. And then I also got another, which I haven't used yet. I might cast on a sock today. I got me another sock loom. Yes, I've already marked it up, but that's just me. This one doesn't have the little screw on it. It pretty much moves. You kind of push it open and move it, and it moves on its own, but once you get in place, it stays pretty good. But this one's the extra fine gauge, so it has 9 stitches per inch rather than the 7 stitches per inch. So I have a feeling socks may take a little longer on this, but it'll have a finer gauge. I may test it out on a pair of socks for my husband. I'm going to be making his Godzilla socks, as I call them, because I have some sock yarn that's called Godzilla. I got it from Lolo did it too. It's on one of my videos. But yeah, so this is, I got this. I've already marked it up, ready to go. Its gauge is, like I said, 9 stitches per inch. So just take your foot circumference, times it by 9. If you want negative ease, which is recommended, you can take off half an inch, inch and a half, just depending on your preference. But yeah, so I went ahead and got this. And the other thing I got, I'll just show you it without the sock on it. This sock has been hanging out on here for a while. Is sock blockers from Knitter's Pride. This is the size medium. So I got these. These are see-through. And yeah, I got these mainly so I could show off socks better on the podcast. And also to stretch out some socks that I made too small. So hopefully that works out well for me. And I can now wash the sock. Well, actually I should have washed it and blocked it, but I didn't. So that's what all I've been working on and made. We had Christmas. I did not get any yarn for Christmas, which I kind of figured I wouldn't. But I got a bunch of stuff I really liked for Christmas. My husband got me a dragon shirt that says, do not meddle in the affairs of dragons, for you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup. I love that shirt. And he got me also a couple Harry Potter coffee cups. They're Marauder Map coffee cups that are heat activated. When you put hot coffee in them, they go from black to reveal the Marauder's map. I just think those are the coolest things ever. So my parents came up for Christmas. We had a nice Christmas. We had prime rib for Christmas dinner and a bunch of good food and broccoli casserole and all that. And then New Year's was play Battleship until midnight after I got off work. So, and then after that we got sick. And so for a week or so we were all sick with cold and all that. And then this past week we've decided to go back to working out at the Y, which Thursday was fun. Because my husband wanted to go to this body sculpt aerobics class. And at the time I'm like, sure, you can go. I didn't mean I was going to go, but somehow I ended up going. Yeah, we're still sore from that, and there's somebody in the video now. This is Catherine. Say hi.
Hi.
This is my youngest. She's not squishy. She's just... Yeah. Okay, sweetie. Can I finish up my video? Okay.
Bye-bye.
You probably want to go back around that way, sweetie. Okay, go real quick. Catherine, go.
You're testing me. You're testing me.
Come on. Up, go. Welcome to my life. So anyway, yeah, we're sore from that, but I go back to working out at the Y tomorrow. I'll probably go back to my normal routine, which is bike machine and then weight machines. And looking at my schedule, I'll probably be drop kids off, get my stuff together, go Y, and then go work, because that's how my schedule's going. But anyway, so we've been busy and all that, and trying to get back in shape, trying to get organized. I'll try to do this. I think I'm just going to stick with every 2 weeks, because that seems more manageable for me and less stressful. So, I'll talk to you all in 2 weeks, and we'll see if I got a little bit more done than what I got now. And I'll talk to you later. If you like this video, please like it, comment, subscribe, tell somebody else about it. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.